You know what is becoming possible?
Kim Possible.
Cryptocurrency in Texas.
Ah.
There you go. Another greasy transition from me.
Now it is.
So I thought this was actually super interesting so I didn't know much about the ATMs before this, but I went and researched afterwards. And so here in Texas in Houston, they're going to put crypto ATMs at HEB.
Hmm.
So you in essence can walk up to this ATM at the HEB customer service, put in your $500, and in turn, you buy $500 in Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever you want at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to start in Houston. That's going to be the test market. And if it takes off, they're going to expand to San Antonio's the second plant. And also, HEB, which is the major grocer here that's doing it, has also stated that if this is their pilot program, afterwards, HEB will be more open to accepting cryptocurrencies as payment.
That's gonna be really cool.
So Texas, if this happens, Texas might be the first state to allow crypto as a currency, not just an investment. Other states are building or have legislation going through to allow crypto to be used more, but this would be the first like actual currency, real world here in the United States.
That is pretty fucking cool. So we just be able to buy crypto when we go to the grocery store when we're going to pick up our groceries and shit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, they said to be like a little kiosk, where the other little kiosk is. Like
It's literally a
going
ATM that you
line.
would find.
Yeah.
That is pretty
Yeah,
fucking
I
dope.
feel I wouldn't say like more accessible, but I would feel like it puts a spotlight on it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, supposedly it's the most secured way because you have to go up, you have to put your secured device in, you put your PIN number and get in, and then it goes right onto your device. So that was the one thing that the company that does this that they are very stringent about is that there is no redos. There is no do-overs. So if you fuck it up, you fuck it up. So take your time and make sure you use the machine properly.
I can already see people complaining about this.
Well, people complain about everything though.
Yeah. But it's smart. I mean,
I want to speak to the manager of Bitcoin.
Yes. Like you're gonna have.
Well, he's been gone.
I mean, it's probably mostly because I talk about it a lot, but at the same time, like even my parents are becoming aware of what cryptocurrencies are.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. We're not financial advisors, but go buy cryptos. Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna skyrocket.
Excited for this opportunity because we started hearing about it in like 2008, 2010.
2000.
Yeah.
Bitcoin became a thing.
2013 was probably where it really became a scene,
Yeah, that's when it hit its first highest mark, like at what, $10,000?
No, it didn't hit $10,000 until 2020, the beginning of 2020.
No, it's gone into the thousands before. No, it's gone into the.
Yeah, it was in the thousands, but you're talking, 6 digits instead of 5 digits is what I'm saying.
Oh.
It hit a 6-digit mark in mid 2019, I think.
Nice. I didn't even realize it hit 6 digits. I thought it was still sitting at 5, or I didn't think it made it to 6 digits at all.
Wait, am I counting?
Talking about 6 digits?
No, 5.
How much Bitcoin?
We're talking
is
4
worth?
digits. No, I'm wrong. It didn't hit 5 digits until 2019. Before that, it was only 4. So it was like hovering under 10,000 for a while. for a couple of years.
I
But
remember.
still, I mean,
For
that's where
Bitcoin?
Ethereum is now.
Yeah. I remember when Bitcoin had just hit like 1,000 and people were scrambling to buy some. But like not it wasn't mainstream, it was mainly like avid big currency miners.
I can say I remember when it hit $25. It went from like $1 to 25 real quick.
Well, yeah, I mean, with the name like
We
Bitcoin.
but we've all had that moment. Anybody that's aware of right investments in some sort of way,
Mhm.
we've all had that moment. It was like, man, I should have bought Bitcoin, right? Like I don't know how many times I've said that.
Oh, yeah, same. I should have bought some this morning, to be completely honest with you.
Bought some
It kind of
Ethereum on the
feels
dip
like
this morning.
around like
Hmm?
the Hollywood video, Blockbuster into Netflix era, like that next big thing. So can you imagine how financial institutions who were pitched Bitcoin and they turned it down, like how they feel right now? I'll be pissed.
Right.
Right?
Well, in the last few days or last few weeks, I should say, China passed a new ruling that it's not illegal to own it, but you can't mine it or trade it anymore at the moment.
Yeah. I know that China's been kind of doubling down on miners who are actually using Bitcoin to smuggle money around. That was another thing. I remember a couple of their millionaires went to jail because they moved more than 10,000 or like it was either 10,000 or $1 million more than they were supposed to. In China, you're only allowed to move so much money out of the country a year, and if you pass that, there's a jailable offense.
Oh wow.
Yeah, one of the millionaires on this big company, Chinese government seized it.
You sell too much Bitcoin, straight to jail.
Yeah, not enough,
You
straight to
buy too
jail.
much Bitcoin, straight to jail.
You buy too little
I would say
Bitcoin,
China
straight to
would
jail.
find some way to try to control it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Joe Biden is like he's trying to pass some legislation to
Mhm.
get some tax revenue off of it, but at the same time, it's like how is anybody going to tax or regulate a global currency in a way?
Thank
Unless if
God.
we have a
Mhm.
global government, and that's
The
never gonna
UN is a
happen.
joke. We all know this. The UN is bureaucracy at its finest, like 100%. But anyway,
So, will you be buying Bitcoin at HEB now when you go?
no, I have a crypto wallet that it goes into, so I don't have a hard drive. But yeah, no, because I would literally have to like stop what I'm doing, drive over there and buy it at the dip. So
Mhm.
it's kind of hard,
That's fair.
There's lines to buy cryptocurrency.
right? And so like any trading, right? Any stock, non-financial advisors don't listen to us. But any
Mhm.
trading you do, you have to you always the way you make more money or raise your value is, you go after the cost, right? Your cost average. Now, if you buy in Bitcoin at 40,000 and you were able to buy in at 30,000, your cost average is going to be 35, you know? So you're not losing all that money in a
Mhm.
way. And so that's really hard to do something like that where you have to go to an ATM at a specific spot to do it, right?
Mhm.
But at the other end, if Bitcoin does become some kind of currency that we can use on a daily basis, you can be like, oh, I got to buy groceries. You can go cash out $200 in Bitcoin and then go buy your groceries with cash.
Yeah, and depending on what time of day it is, I mean, it can either be like, fuck, if only Bitcoin was still in like the hundreds, it would either be a small portion of a Bitcoin or a much larger portion of Bitcoin. Because I mean, depending on what its value is, that could you could use that to your advantage.
What's the downside of this? Like,
There's
besides
n-
having, I guess, like more available access to your, like, I don't know. I
the
guess I had this
downfall of the U.S.
assumption in my
economy.
head that yeah, or
So
like
that's
it's
like
internet based, right? So like, what if like the internet went out? Like how can you access it then? I guess that's
yeah.
what I'm trying to get at.
That's a fair
No,
point.
yeah. I mean, that's the real like downside. But at the same time, there's no way for the internet to be 100% down at this point. I don't think, unless we hit like a solar storm that takes out the Earth,
Yeah.
because you have satellite internet. You have so many redundancies at this point that it would be kind of hard to get complete access away. So as long as I think the internet is like Boo from Dragon Ball Z, right?
Mhm.
As long as there's one speck of it left, the rest will regenerate.
Oh, goodness.
I forgot all about Boo. I forgot that's how you regenerated.
But I mean, you got to think the upsides though, right? You have these
Mhm.
ATMs. So if you get on a flight from UK, right? And you don't want to really deal with a bunch of stuff, you cash in a little Bitcoin, you get some pounds, right? You do your thing there in pounds. You spend them off. You buy more Bitcoin with what's left over. You put it back into the system. And then you fly to the United States. You're able to cash out, get some dollars, do your thing. I, it's going to be the way of the future, right? The iPad came out. Well, okay, now everything's a tablet. So
True.
Bitcoin itself might not be the way of the future, but cryptocurrency is the way of the future.
I'm just
I'm doing first.
I can't
It's
wait
just
to
like
be
I don't even. I understand it, but I don't understand it. So I hope that future's a little farther off.
So if you go into that
Give me a
mentality,
pamphlet.
yeah, right. If you view the mentality of cryptocurrency as the way of the future, then what is it to spend $100 a month and buy some cryptocurrency of whatever you want? There's like so many of them out there that are reparable. Not Don't go for like the Doge or anything like that. The
yeah.
memes, you can maybe make a quick buck, but you got to think long term in most of these.
Mhm. Honestly, I'm just
And
excited for
not
the day.
financial advisors.
Yeah, we're not financial advisors, but I'm excited for the day when
Go
I
ahead,
can
Peach.
buy a video game using Bitcoin.
I would say I would
That'd be cool.
never buy anything with Bitcoin at the moment. Like my mentality going towards it is Bitcoin is going to be worth one Bitcoin is going to be worth $1 million one day, right? That's going to be the new million mark. So if you spend a Bitcoin on a Tesla now, you're spending it at 6,000 or 60,000 when you can be spending it at a million.
Mhm.
That's why I hope they have, like, some people have talked about Doge actually replacing the US dollar in a way because they function more or less the same. It's all made up
The points don't
and
matter.
the points don't matter.
I was gonna say, 'cause it's like, why not the million Bitcoins be a million? Because like the one Bitcoin equaling a million, you can break that up to like tenths and hundreds, but then it's like, so how many Bitcoins are there? I think that's what's hardest for me is it's not tangible.
So, yeah, no, there's actually,
100
you can
pennies in a
get,
dollar.
yeah,
Yeah, but
there's
it
no,
stops there.
Okay.
It
but they
doesn't
have,
stop with Bitcoin or
it
digital
does, it
currency.
goes to 8 decimal points.
Okay.
So it does stop at a point, and there only is so much Bitcoin made, and they're not going to make any more after. Like they have a set number, right? And after that number, there will be no more. So it's a finite supply.
Well, yeah,
So in
especially
turn,
with the
that
mathematical
gives it
algorithm.
value.
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
mathematical algorithm, you only have a finite number, which is why with older computers, you could only use specific types of storage that were either like 1 or 2 gigabytes. I don't know if you guys remember that or not.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The old
Yeah, I remember you
Xboxes,
telling
you had
us
to have
that.
the specific hard drive to handle them.
With Windows XP, you couldn't plug in a hard drive that was more than 4 gigabytes or would not recognize it.
Oh,
Uh,
It's
mhm.
amazing how software does that. Today, Peach and I were watching videos of like these copy protections video game cartridges. So like Spyro had one. So if you got like a hacked version of the game, the actual system would recognize it as, not their own product, and it will let you play for a little bit. And then there's like a message that comes on, it shames your ass.
I like it.
Spyro